In Abraham's tent, Sarah cradled baby Isaac, jealousy brewing deep within. Hagar, the Egyptian servant, watched nervously as Ishmael played nearby. Carefree, Sarah's heart hardened, seeing Ishmael as a threat to her son. Abraham agonized over Sarah's demand to send Hagar and Ishmael away. God spoke to Abraham in a dream, assuring him of Ishmael's future. Reluctantly, Abraham gave Hagar bread and a skin of water. Tearfully, Hagar and Ishmael set out into the harsh Beersheba desert, alone. The sun beat down mercilessly as they wandered, hope fading fast. Ishmael, thirsty and weak, cried out for water, his voice trembling. Hagar's heart ached, remembering Abraham's kindness amidst the growing despair. The water skin emptied, and panic set in as death loomed. In desperation, Hagar placed Ishmael under a bush, unable to watch. She walked away, sobbing bitterly, convinced they would both perish alone. God heard Ishmael's cries from heaven, his compassion stirring to act. An angel appeared to Hagar, calling her name with gentle urgency. "Fear not, Hagar. God has heard the boy's cry," the angel said. The angel promised Ishmael would become a great nation, future secured. God opened Hagar's eyes to see a well of water nearby. Rushing to the well, Hagar drew water, her hands shaking with relief. She gave Ishmael water, and life returned to his parched lips. Hagar's vulnerability transformed into unwavering faith in God's protective care. They continued their journey, strengthened by the promise of a future. Ishmael grew strong in the wilderness, becoming an archer as foretold. God remained with Ishmael, guiding him through life's trials and triumphs. Hagar reflected on her exile, grateful for God's mercy and distress. The story reminds us God sees and cares for the outcast. In moments of despair, God's compassion brings hope and new beginnings. Like Hagar, we can trust in God's faithful provision during trials. God's promise to Ishmael fulfilled. A nation rose from humble roots. This tale of exile highlights divine love for the vulnerable and weak. May we emulate God's compassion, reaching out to those in need. As the sun sets, Hagar and Ishmael find peace in God's embrace. Remember, no one is forgotten. God's care extends to all people. Through Hagar's story, we learn faith can turn despair into hope. God's compassion shines brightest in our darkest moments of vulnerability. Ishmael's legacy lives on, a testament to God's unchanging faithfulness. In every exile, God's promise whispers hope for a better tomorrow. Let this story inspire us to see God's hand in hardship. As we end, carry Hagar's lesson. God cares for the marginalized. May God's compassion guide your path, just as it did Hagar's. This timeless tale echoes God's love, eternal and ever-present for all. In vulnerability, we find God's strength, a promise never to forsake. Hagar's exile ends not in loss, but in divine restoration and peace. Remember this story, and let it deepen your faith in God's care. God's compassion for Hagar teaches us to love the overlooked today. As the narrative closes, hold on to hope, for God is near. In every desert of life, God's well of provision awaits discovery. Thank you for joining this journey. May it bless your heart. Share this story of faith, and subscribe for more biblical inspirations. God's love story with Hagar reminds us, no one is alone.